Dead Peasant Radio.
We must have faith in each other.
Of informing and alerting.
Faith in our ability to govern ourselves.
Dead Peasant Radio.
It's now the most important task we face.
You are listening to Dead Peasant Radio.
Sometimes even anger. Public opinion.
What can we do?
Rise up.
Face the truth.
Yeah, keep up with myself, it makes imitating easy. Believe me, the TV makes you needy, so I leave thee with the skeevy programmers. Demand the hand of slander, the lobbyist commander, making moves like Alexander, so I lay like salamanders. Chilling on this rock of earth, who's first? I don't need to push like I be giving birth. Life ain't a walk in the park, if you's a running dog, learn to let my wants dissolve. Happy if it's analog, music is a dialogue, universal travelogue. Try to get your kids involved in something more than catalogs. Who's winning? Straight from the beginning. You gotta play your innings, that's living, keep spinning in the mind. Make matter from invisible thoughts. More often than not, the job lot, zombies with squaw. Cause the man who owns your time is the man who owns your mind. The man who owns your time is the man who owns your mind.
You want to talk about the old days? In the old days, I would need a warrant to tap all your phones, to freeze all your assets, and to prevent you from ever being a passenger on any airline in the world. But like you say, it's not the old days anymore.
Everything owes its existence to sound. Sound is the factor which holds it together. Sound is the basis of form and shape. We are told that this is how the worlds began and how creation took shape. Sound is the basis of form.
They say life needs a plan, but it's better on a whim. So step out on a limb like you chasing on trim. Organize time, create and spread mind. Instead of that time on the factory line, you gotta do you before you do them. I always do Zen. I don't need to play Ken, I don't need to keep up. You can keep Barbie in her makeup and all that fake stuff, a little in your pay stub. I'm an OG, Northeast mostly. Drop the Folkleys, live free remotely. Proceed to shine. We the spirits of the sun, keep it moving through time. Stop praying to nine, alchemy with your mind. It's sublime to lift off from third eye shine. Then back to the world again, filled with the hooligan. Sucking on the ego like babies need boob again. It's not a nutrient, honestly that's rudiment. The corporate culture got to use it as a lubricant. Pandemonium, this hunt for plutonium. Lobbyists holding up symposiums. Must have been the sodium chloride mixed with the glucose. Aggravated vitamin B plus the sucrose. Made you act gross, sorta like your Holy Ghost, killing in the name of flying planes in the trading post. Oh,
no. That was brand new.
Yeah. That was some old stuff that I never released. I never finished a full song, so I just put the verse up. Dead Peasant Radio.
That was brand new to me. That's fantastic.
Live.
How many more songs are there like that are out there hidden that you never released?
I don't know. Not that many. I delete the real bad shit. I don't let that stuff just hang around. I don't want like the great grandkids to discover that shit. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I bet some of the stuff you throw away is really good too.
Oh yeah.
Man.
I'm sure like some of it's pretty good, but you gotta have standards.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's for damn true.
Did you hear about this freaking news down there that they're gonna have female Viagra?
I read on Twitter that there was a Vice article that said that the FDA is one step closer to approving a pill for the female libido. I thought they already invented that pill, and it's called champagne.
I don't know, man. It's just weird. A bunch of chicks walking around in yoga pants with boners. You know?
You think it'll give chicks boners? That's gonna suck.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's weird. We're not into that. This company's gonna lose tons of money.
Oh, it's not. You're taking it literally, though. They say a female Viagra. It doesn't mean that it's gonna give chicks boners.
I think it's gonna be a big joke on chicks.
Oh man, that would be fantastic. It's like it hit the market and all these chicks gobbled it down and it gave them big boners.
They're at the nightclub in their yoga pants, and all of a sudden they have gigantic boners.
Good. Let them know what it feels like. Shit's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it is.
That was the worst time of life, man, when you're in like 8th grade, 9th grade, and you're walking through school and you get a rock hard boner for like no reason, no provocation.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to be... You got to give them young kids credit, because they can get that thing under control pretty quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what belts are for.
Yeah. I guess. So what's new, man? Anything in the world happening right now? I haven't seen much in the news. I did hear about a major hack, I guess.
A major hack? Where?
Yeah, the Chinese hacked the government's computer system and got the $14 million profiles on government employees.
Good. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's like I put on the local news tonight, which I don't normally watch a lot. And right after the local news is this like ABC news. I don't know. It's all fear, man. It's so funny. Every single story is based on something that has a negative overtone.
Some kind of change that's going to happen that's not, your world's not going to be the same. Somebody's trying to take something away from you. Somebody's trying to control you in some way. Something's going to kill your children. They go after the kids a lot in the news.
Yeah. It gets
I don't
viewers.
pay any attention to any of it, man. I'll tell you what the biggest problem in my world is right now. And I know that you can empathize with it. I got a raccoon problem.
Yes. The old raccoons.
I got a raccoon that learned he can slip through the cat door and get on the back porch and eat the cat food.
Whoa.
And he's been bullying my cats.
Yeah.
So I took the food out of the equation, so there's no food out there after dark.
Yeah.
And I put a board across the cat door at night. I just screwed it on.
Huh.
The little bastard still came running around trying to open up the fucking sliding door last night. So I had to chase him off. But he wasn't in a big hurry when I chased him. It kind of worried me a little bit. Yeah,
no, the ones in my neighborhood will literally stand their ground. There's nothing you can do, man. You gotta get better at things.
Great advice.
No, well, I mean,
These little fuckers are creepy, man. It was like some kind of weird little Ewok bear dog just staring me down. I charged at it, and I kept expecting it to run, but I was like, this motherfucker's not moving. Am I gonna have to punt him across my pool?
yeah.
It's crazy.
I have a ginger coon.
What?
Yeah, you know how they're black and gray?
Yeah, they look like the Hamburglar.
We have a coon up here that the black is real, not red, but that light golden brown.
Oh, he's an albino.
He's pretty cool. He's a little prick though, because I'll turn on the light and bang on the door, and he'll just stand there and look at me and go right through my trash.
Oh, what a dick.
Yeah, he's pretty mean, but you go to the hardware store and you buy these $50 bear-proof trash barrels. They don't work.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, man. The coon freaking first day we had it, folded the lid in half. Took him all night.
That's psycho.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. You just gotta keep your trash in a place where they can't get it, and the food where they can't get it. They'll get it, man.
Yeah, I know. They're creepy little fuck.
Yeah, they get aggressive too. You gotta be careful with them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll fight a raccoon. You know what I mean? But I don't like the idea of him beating up on my cat.
Yeah.
So I got a shovel by the back door. If he sleeps on me, I'll clock him with that shovel. He doesn't mean anything to me.
No,
You know?
no.
I'll make a hat out of him.
Yeah, but they keep other animals away too, though.
Like what? Possums?
Yeah, possums. I think they kill snakes.
Yeah, my cats do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they'll kill the
My cats
cat.
are creepy little alien-looking bastards with thumbs. They got thumbs, man. What is with that?
Yeah, did you notice their nails too? They're like 3 inches long.
Yeah, this one did have big nails on him. That's why I was thinking, I'm not going to grapple with him. Like, I'm not shooting for a low single Randy Couture versus James Toney style. Like, I'm soccer kicking this guy. Like, old school, Pele, IFL, IVL.
Dude.
And I'm just going to try and put him through the uprights. You know what I mean?
That thing is faster than any soccer ball you've ever tried to make contact with.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there, man, like a sumo wrestler.
Dude, have a heart his ass, man. Drop him on the other side of the river.
Yeah, but you know that if I set up a have a heart trap, I'm going to catch my 3 cats first.
Yeah. That's a good art piece, is a cat and have a heart cage.
with a sign that says stupid pointing at it.
Yeah. Baited in with female Viagra. Like, that's so ridiculous to me. Why? Don't call it Viagra.
Why not?
I don't know. It's stupid. It's like coming out with a pill and calling it marijuana.
I don't understand. I don't see the connection.
Viagra gives guys boners.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Females don't get boners.
Well, some of them do. I saw that porno with that wrestler China, and she had a boner.
Oh, so this is what... all right. So female Viagra is for the limited amount of women that have a penis and a vagina.
No, dude. I think the idea is that it just sends... If you want to get clinical about it, it's just like Viagra, and it sends blood to the right area. You know what I mean?
How long until Viagra's on a Waffle House menu?
I don't know, but I do know that Rush Limbaugh was able to buy a shoebox full of Oxycontin in the parking lot of a Waffle House via his maid. I remember that happening.
I mean, it just makes perfect sense, right? Like late night breakfast after a night of drinking, and you leave with a doggy bag of Viagra.
So, like your local burrito place you should also be able to get boner meds at it.
You should, yeah, your late night diners. You should be able to buy boner meds.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? It'd be interesting. You'd have a bunch of like really old truck drivers wandering around 24-hour diner parking lots with boners.
Could we sell sugar pills to teenagers and just call it not Viagra?
Yeah, I'm definitely sure you'd go to jail for it.
Just sugar pills?
Yeah, they'll put you in jail for selling any pills to teenagers.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's all around a creepy idea. It's an all around creepy idea you just said.
No, well, it's because they get those unpredictable boners that are miserable to deal with.
Why would a teenager want more of that?
No, he doesn't. It takes that away. It's not Viagra. It's the opposite of Viagra.
Oh, you're saying sell them something that'll make their boners go away?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that. It's called lubrication.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know how we got on this Viagra. Dude, I've been working in the a not so nice part of the live free or die state.
Oh, yeah?
And I see a lot of sad shit. Like just today there was this guy, he couldn't stand up. He was like stumbling in the streets and screaming gibberish, and he wasn't like a homeless dude. He was just on smack, right? He was on something.
Oh, Jesus.
And then there was this young kid who was like half his age. He's screaming in his face, like ordering him to go stand on the corner and chill out. And then they were like fighting, and the cops showed up, and cops took them both away. And that was just like one thing. And like, there's something like that happens every day where we are. It's like, it's crazy.
There's a lot of meth up there?
I don't know if it's meth, but there's a lot of, there's a serious OC or heroin problem going on up here.
Oh, wow. Still, huh?
He had to have been on something like that. I mean, I've seen people fucked up on stuff, and this guy was like, his legs didn't work. It was, it's like something you see on the show Cops. but it's a very serious neck of the woods, you know. And I'm like, when I get out of there, I kind of get in a goofy mood because I'm like fucking happy to be out of Stupidville.
Yeah.
Awful graffiti too. Fucking graffiti. I mean, it's so bad. They suck at it up here.
Sometimes it's really good, man.
Not up here, man.
No.
No, they're good at letters. I'm telling you, man. They suck at everything else.
It's something I never understood.
What, graffiti?
I had a lot of friends that were really, really proficient at it. And they would go, like, their whole thing was how to make a great painting in a very difficult place to get to. Like, that was all part of it.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of people just doing dumb tags on some, garage door or something. It's
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of that?
No. Dude, we've been taking leaks behind this fence, behind a tree, and it's in the hood, right? And I've been doing this for like 5 years, and someone went out there like right where we pissed and used red spray paint and spray painted like on the tree and on the ground and.
Oh my god!
And the
Someone tagged a tree?
right in the middle of the, like, not the woods, but in between two parking lots, there's this fence, and then there's like a tree line.
Kind of dummy.
Yeah, and the kid who's working with me swears he's like that someone's pissed that we're pissing there, and is like going out there and like trying to scare us off, and I'm like, with a bunch of shitty tags. Oh man,
Oh, that's tremendous.
yeah, it's like, I think they're gonna. What?
Maybe it was a deer. Maybe a deer was pissed that you're peeing near its bed. Now he's a can of spray paint.
So they also left a bag of dog shit.
A bag of dog shit?
Yeah. Someone's definitely yelling at us, telling us, "Yo, don't piss here because I throw my dog's bags of dog shit."
What in the living fuck?
Oh, it's so weird. I can't, dude. They spray painted like rocks. Like, they didn't even spray paint stuff. They just like spray painted a rock red.
This was an 8-year-old. This is not an adult.
What is he doing in between the fence? And it's just like that whole part of the world is just, it's weird. It's different. And I live like 20 minutes from there. It's night and day, you know?
Yeah.
Things need fixing, you know? We need some real life Black Dynamites. You ever seen that movie?
Oh, I saw that a long time ago.
Fantastic.
It's like The Mac and all of those movies, right?
Yeah, but it's a total comedy.
Oh, right. I gotta watch that again.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good. There's some good boob shots in there.
Oh, I like boobs. Way
Yeah.
into that.
Nice.
I gotta watch The Foot Fist Way again, too, with Danny McBride, the Kenny Powers from Eastbound and Down.
Yes.
That's gonna be a good one. I went down this rabbit hole last night of fake martial artists.
Yeah.
And if you go into YouTube University and just put in like bullshit martial arts or fake martial arts, there's so much fucking fascinating video out there, man, going back to the 80s of like, these guys that claim that they're able to knock their opponent over with their chi, and they have this room full of students that just run at them, and they like wave their hand in the air, and the students all go flying. Sometimes they act like they've been electrocuted. It's fantastic stuff.
Huh.
I don't know how I got onto that subject.
No, it's interesting because it's like you get so much great information on the internet, and you also get a lot of bad information. Like, there's some of these guys probably have pretty successful websites with web traffic, and people really like believe them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, everyone's got students.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go down this rabbit hole, you can find these martial arts schools, even around where I live, which is a pretty,
Yeah.
populated area, of like these guys who have no credentials. They clearly have just made up a bunch of fucking black belts, and they're offering like these warrior camps you
Yeah.
know? And it's kind of crazy because these are the men that are teaching self-defense to people, or they think that they are. These people think that they're learning self-defense from, you know, these guys that claim they run a ninja school.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of their target market's probably that after-school crowd, you know, weekends, little kids, family stuff. Wouldn't you think?
There are a lot of those schools, and those schools I'm fine with. Like you drive down the road and you'll see a karate school or an ATA or a taekwondo school, and for the most part, it's little kids in there learning discipline, learning how to throw a basic punch and a kick, and getting some good cardio. That's fine. I think that's great. Little kids should be involved in that. But like what gets really ridiculous, and you'll find the videos on YouTube, are like these older guys that are clearly out of shape, and they put on the costume and they call themselves a ninja expert, and they act real tough in front of a room full of a bunch of other older guys that are out of shape, and they might break a brick or some dumb shit like that. And that stuff it's actually out there, and it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Entertaining as hell, and it's goofy. It's goofy shit.
But they're serious.
Yeah, they're dead serious, and they think that they're killers. They got a big gut, they got the sleeves cut off of their gi.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of, like, weird medals from somewhere hanging on the wall,
Yeah.
And then anytime you see, in the old days, before the UFC, the Gracies used to do what they call the Gracie Challenge, where anybody that wanted to show up and fight their black belt at their school was welcome to do so. And they videotaped a lot of them. And you see some of these guys showing up thinking that they're going to, put the death punch on Half Gracie or something.
Yeah.
And without fail, none of it works. And what does work is boxing and wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Yep. That's awesome.
But I don't know. I think in our country anyway, there was a lot of like this mystical ninjutsu movies that were made in like the late 80s, or maybe like in the early 80s, late 70s.
Even like Bruce Lee stuff, right?
Some of that stuff, although Bruce Lee was using real fighting techniques, which is why it was so fucking above everything else.
Yeah.
There was like all these ninja movies, like the ninja was big, and those movies made it look like, well, the ninja was almost using these magical techniques that nobody knew, and he only taught one other person before he died, and that's where all of these bullshito martial arts guys pop up from,
Yeah.
They thought, I don't have to do 1,000 sit-ups and do actual sparring techniques. I can learn these secret things, the tiger claw technique.
Yeah. There was one movie I saw, I don't remember the name of it, but it was an old martial arts movie, and they went through like each character, like this guy trained tiger style, and this guy trained the praying mantis.
Are you talking about Bloodsport?
No.
Jean-Claude
No, way before that.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, even in like that new Netflix original series, Marco Polo.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's pretty good. That's how it's clearly fake. It's fiction. I don't think it's an accurate depiction of history. But like the Chinese guy they're at war with, he practices the praying mantis style, and then like the style everybody thinks is the best style is tiger style. So that's what like a lot of the armies are trained in, but all the masters are trained in like monkey style and like the weird ones, It's pretty cool.
That's all different forms of kung fu, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they were in China.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Mongols were on the outskirts of China because they were trying to get through the Great Wall. What do you think of the Great Wall of China? You think man really made that?
Yeah, I think that the Mongols were fucking up the whole planet.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, maybe we can beat them with our architecture.
Yeah.
Why, you're not one of those people that thinks that aliens built it or some other thing, do you?
No, but it feels like to me to build it, you would need like a population of man that supposedly wasn't even around yet.
No, man, it's not that complicated of a structure.
No, but it's
Other than
huge.
its
And
length.
have you ever seen some of the cliffs it goes over?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems from an engineering standpoint, you better have a shitload of slaves.
Well, that's exactly what they had, and they were smart. They were using, strings and squares and levers and things in ways that we've forgotten how to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How long did it take to build the Great Walls of China?
Are you Googling that?
Yeah.
My
Wait for me to answer, though.
My connection to the global consciousness tells me somewhere around 185 years.
Is that right?
I don't know. I thought you were Googling it.
I am right here. The first segments were built in the 5th century BC, and the last contributions of the Great Wall of China were built in the 16th century AD. So that's a long fucking time, dude.
Yeah. Wow. I guess you're right.
That's 1,000 years? What is that? 20.
What do you think about the myth that the pyramids were supposedly covered in hieroglyphics?
It's not a myth. That's an absolute truth. There's actually paintings of Napoleon's army were done outside of the pyramids while they were still sheathed before it was looted.
Really?
And so that's absolutely like historical record. And not only was it covered with white limestone, the whole thing was engraved from top to bottom with hieroglyphics.
Man.
So what was that information that was so important that it had to go on those structures?
Not only that, like where did it all go? If they took it off and broke it up into like rubble.
Dude, parts of it, they tried to dynamite a hole through into the center. So like some of it was just destroyed. Some of it got repurposed into other buildings that you can still go and see now in Cairo.
Yeah.
Very few of them have ended up in museums around the world.
What do you think they say?
I don't know, man. Maybe they tell the true history of the Earth. Maybe it's just all shout-outs.
What if it was like more of like, when you buy a new tool and it's got, or like you buy a car and it's got the airbag warning sticker? It's like it's a big warning saying like, if you take this apart, the earth will fucking start spinning out of control. Like it could be a counterweight.
That's a theory. That is a legitimate theory that's out there, that the Great Pyramids, not just in Egypt, but also all throughout, that parallel of the globe, were built as a counterweight to even out its rotation.
What if that was man's first like major feat? Like ours now is trying not to kill the planet and trying to get off the planet. But the one like a couple 100,000 years ago was figuring out a way to get Earth into a more
Steady rotation?
Yeah.
It could be. Maybe that's what that information was on the exterior limestone sheathing of the Great Pyramid.
Yeah, like they figured out that the human population was like getting wiped out like every 12,500 years because of its crazy orbit and the way it spins, and that if they could balance it out, it wouldn't reset like that, It would have a new spin. And they built them things.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then maybe that spin just fucked with their bodies and caused massive amounts of the population to like just die of,
What if it just caused everyone to shrink?
Or shrink.
We've talked about it on the podcast before about all of these. Even the Judeo-Christian Bible, in the beginning there were giants that roamed that earth.
Yeah.
Right.
There still are. There still are giants. I don't know, in the NBA?
Yeah, well, true. Those are small giants. But, I mean, there's rumors that in the Smithsonian they've got a 14-foot human skeleton hidden.
Yeah.
And that those giant mounds were built by giants that were in North America.
You know
The biblical flood.
what's really interesting to me in North America is the Serpent's Mound. Do you know about that?
Where is that?
It's out, I think it's out near where the Rune Stone is, that part of the country.
The Serpent Mound. It rings a bell.
From the sky, it looks like a giant serpent. It's a mound.
Oh, it's in Ohio.
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah,
that,
we should make a trip out there.
is that where the Georgia Guidestone is? Oh no, that's in Georgia, clearly.
Yeah, that's in Georgia, man.
Yeah.
The Serpent Mound is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Looking at it now.
Isn't it? And there's claims that during like lightning storms and stuff, it gets hit wicked hard.
Like it has some sort of natural magnetism in the area or something?
Yeah, we'd have to go down there maybe sometime. That's what we'll research for DPR. We'll try to get there during lightning storms and catch proof on video.
We should wrap ourselves in tinfoil though, so if the lightning hits us, it'll just bounce off.
Yeah, I'm not scared. We'll be in a grounded car with rubber tires.
They're saying here that, let's see, Serpent Mountain is an internationally known national historic landmark built by the ancient cultures of Ohio. Unspecified, that's interesting. It is an effigy mound, a mound in the shape of an animal, representing a snake with a curled tail. Nearby are 3 burial mounds, 2 created by the Adena culture, which was 800 BC, 800 years before Christ, and one of the Fort Ancient culture, which was 1,000 years after that. The Serpent Mound has no associated burials and was likely used for ceremonial purposes. So why would you need to build a giant snake in the ground
Yeah.
for ceremonial purposes? I think I want to investigate your angle. Maybe these people had figured out how to make a natural sort of Tesla coil, if you're
Or
pardon the pun.
battery.
Yeah, that drew energy from lightning storms, and they were storing it somehow,
Yeah.
running it other places.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And it's in America, you know, a place that was supposedly just barbarians before Columbus.
And that is the area of the country where there are even old newspaper stories from back in the 1700s and stuff. They've unearthed a giant skeleton.
Yeah.
And there are conspiracy theorists out there that claim that all of that got swept under the rug. The Smithsonian went around and bought it all up and destroyed it.
Yeah, because they're scared of land claims.
Land claims?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What would hiding giant skeletons have to do with land claims?
That guy Scott Walter believes that a lot of it is Welsh, like Viking, big. Just I don't know if I buy the giant thing. I think that there might have been maybe a tribe of like 7'5", 8 foot tall, red-haired men.
That makes a lot. That does make more sense.
You know, that came in through the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
And
Well, the serpent is definitely. Well, the problem with sort of relating it to Vikings is that the serpent is used as a symbol in religions from China to Mesoamerica. The Vikings certainly had their serpent gods and symbolism.
yeah, but I mean,
Everyone on the planet did, so it doesn't really.
just because
Nobody
it's
Go ahead.
just because it's like serpent shaped doesn't mean that they actually meant it as a serpent, right? Like that's what it's pushed as, that's what it's been named, but that's just because it has a resemblance to like a snake coiled up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing any images of like a snake's head or anything. It just is like a big S sort of pattern that's clearly made for some purpose.
It's pretty cool, man. But the thing is with that stuff is that the engineering behind that stuff doesn't necessarily like impress me. Like I don't think you'd have to be an alien or a giant to make any of that stuff, right? But the pyramids are pretty fascinating to me.
That's true. But what it does show, like, it is enough work that there was clearly an intention. It was purposeful, right? But now we're sort of left to speculate what that purpose was.
And not only that, there was enough food around to keep that many workers alive, which shows signs of probably either very good hunter-gatherer tribes or our agriculture.
Yeah, I would say definitely an agricultural tribes were around back then. I mean, maybe not you, but definitely I was taught as a kid to think of America as almost barren, with very few people in it when the white man got here. But that's not true at all. There was huge cities of people.
Yep.
You know?
All swept under the rug.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of those towns are now military bases that you're not allowed on.
Really?
That's what I would say. I mean, if you were the federal government of a new country trying to hide anyone that could claim possible land claims, you just got out of a war with your mother country, wouldn't you put chains around anything that might prove that, Britain doesn't own America?
Yeah, that's true. And now they're historical monuments.
I mean, what if they knew that they took this country from, they fought Britain for it, but they knew for a fact that, who knows, the Welsh or the Chinese or who were the people we were talking about last week, the Minoans. Even the Minoans might have actual more of a land claim to this area than Britain. And they were like, oh shit, we need to hide this, so they just turned them all into military bases.
That makes sense. I mean, there's definitely stories are starting to pop up though. Like we talked many podcasts ago about them finding that ancient Mayan city outside of Georgia.
Yeah, and
they think now that the Mayan culture spread up the east coast, not the east coast, up the west coast into northern California and Oregon even.
Yeah.
Like those people were everywhere.
Yep. What wiped them out so quick?
But they would never. I don't know. I don't think the Minoans or whoever's left of the Mayans would ever be able to make any land claims. I don't think the government's afraid of that anymore. Now that they own it all.
Well,
they got it all locked down.
Not now, but when the country first, think about the people that won this country. They were like just ragtag everyday dudes, supposedly. So we're told,
Yeah, they had to be ruthless psychopaths back then.
You know what I'm saying?
And the people that run our country still are ruthless psychopaths.
Yeah. But I mean, they were probably like, Jesus, we fought the Indians, we fought the British. We can't fight anyone else claiming this is their land or they have a right to this land. Like, we need to make it clear that this is our land now.
Yeah, this land belongs to the Bank of England, as it turns out.
Yep, I know.
After the revolution.
I know all about it. There is no America. There's no Britain. It's just the same rules run by banks.
Yeah, it's just a farm called America.
Yep. Yep. It is.
You're the product.
But I'm cool with that, and I'd have a lot easier of a time with it if everybody else around me saw it so simply, but that's not the case.
Yeah, it's true. It's working for me. I'm having a great time, but there are a lot of people that get shit on.
Yeah. Yeah, in New Hampshire, we got this cool place called Stonehenge, New Hampshire. And it made the history show America Unearthed, and
oh really?
Yeah, and it's an episode. You can get it on iTunes. America Unearthed. I think it's season 1, and it's called America Stonehenge, I believe, and it's all about the Stonehenge that's in Salem, New Hampshire. And I've been there as a kid. My buddy lived down the street. We used to ride our bikes and like ride right up there, and it's pretty cool. It's old. That guy Scott Walter thinks it's Welch.
Really?
Yeah, and
So how old would that be?
he tells you exactly in that episode because he does. They're all solar alignments, how everything's built. So he's able to pinpoint where in time they built it, because they would have built it, so the sun coming up in the spring was in a certain spot, and the thing points to that spot, and it's off a little bit now. So he figured out when it was like exact. I don't remember. I watched it a long time ago, but it's pretty cool, and it's in New Hampshire. And this is way before Columbus. I mean, Columbus wasn't even in his grandpa's nutsack yet,
Nice. I need to get up there. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, man. Next time you come up, we'll go to it.
We can do an on-site podcast.
Yeah, we might have to check with them. They're big time now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's one I want to go to. There's a site I want to go to when you're down here, when you have the recorder, called the Bucks County Pyramids. Have you heard of this?
No.
You can bring it up onto the YouTubes if you just search for Bucks County Pyramid. There's all kinds of videos on it. But it's this weird structure, right, in the middle of Bucks County, and it has this stone pyramid, and it's about 12 feet high, right, and there's just a door in it. And above the door, there's a triangular symbol with a skull and crossbones and a planet with wings and an anchor and a flame, and it says the word try underneath it. And I have no idea what that's from. Some people say it's Rosicrucian.
It's 3.
What?
It's 3.
Try? Yeah.
3 times itself is what?
9.
9. All angles in geometry all are divisible by 9.
All right, but it still doesn't tell me who built this weird pyramid and what's inside that door.
It's the cult of the 9. There's people that worship the number 9. They think 9 is everything. 9 is like the pi of existence.
All right.
They're a weird, strange cult. It's hard to find stuff on them, but they're real. I met them. And their belief is that geometry can be broken down to 9.
Well, we gotta go. We gotta meet some of these people.
Yeah. If you ever...
The pyramids are crazy. They're made out of they're not made out of smooth, square stones. They're made out of the stones of the area, which were like rounded kind of field stones.
Yeah, I was just fucking around about 9. But try, right? What'd you say, try?
Yeah, T-R-Y.
Oh, T-R-Y. That changes everything.
Yeah, to try, it says.
Could it just
real
be...
weird. I'm sending you the video right now.
Yeah.
But when you're down here with the recorders, we gotta go for an on-site visit. I want to see, and supposedly, like, if you get too close, like security guards show up from out of nowhere.
Yeah.
People that say that the doors, like what you're seeing, because it's only like 12 feet out of the ground, what you're seeing is just actually the tip of the pyramid.
Yeah.
And the rest of the pyramid is underground, and that there's some kind of weird, freaky, ancient cult that worships there or something.
Sounds like a fraternity almost.
I don't know, man. It's got some pretty strange symbols.
It's open to the public?
Well, no. They're hard to find. They're very secretive. They're just sort of known to be down this particular road. I'd have to watch the video with the sound on to really tell you. But
Yeah.
there are people that go there and they're videotaping and they're explaining like how they got there, and that's how you would find it. There's a flagpole out front, and it's just this stone pyramid with a copper cap on it that comes up out of the ground.
Really? That's interesting.
Some people say that it's the Rosicrucian Order of William Cooper.
Huh.
I don't know.
Is it old?
It's as old as the oldest structures that you might find in this country. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
okay.
So it's made out of those same stones.
Try. I'm going to solve this mystery.
Are we going to solve it?
I think that it might be just telling you to fuck the tri-state.
Say what?
Try. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I want to see if security guards do show up from out of nowhere. You know? Like, I'll go knock on the door. What the fuck?
Dude, how about this? I'll put on a pair of yoga pants
Oh, no.
and a sports bra, and I'll run up there.
Why?
Just no one's gonna fucking come near you. Have you seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Frank gets down to tighty whities and covers himself in hand sanitizer and crawls across Patty's floor?
No, I have not seen that one.
Oh my god, it's so funny, dude. He doesn't even say anything during the scene. Just the image alone, you can't stop laughing.
I remember what was it, the Christmas episode when he was inside of the couch.
Oh, fantastic.
He was himself out like the couch was giving birth to him. He was in his tiny whitey.
That was so good.
That show's brilliant.
That show is worth, it's worth buying the DVD sets to that show.
I bought them all.
Yeah. It's worth having on the walls.
Always Sunny from the Bucks County Pyramids.
I don't know. Dude, I told you, man. I'm out of it. Thursday, we should probably move the podcast to Friday night or something.
Friday night?
Or Saturday morning.
Saturday morning?
I'm just exhausted. I don't mind Thursday. I don't mind Thursday nights. It's just that I'm fucking a zombie by this time of the week.
I am too, man. I just got out of jiu-jitsu class. And
Yep.
I'm usually a cooked noodle after that. I'm all dehydrated. All I want to do is eat protein.
Yep.
You know, maybe we should try Saturday morning.
Maybe we should try it.
We could rename the podcast as the Saturday Morning Dead Peasant Revival Hour.
Yeah, we could. I wish I could just I wish when I hit stop, it was online. I wish we were live.
Why aren't we?
I don't know, because I haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Oh.
I haven't put in any time. I don't have any time. I've lost my piggy bank of time.
I know how it is, brother. There's so many things you have to do in this life, and you only get 130 years on this planet
Yep.
to do them in.
So they say.
We were talking about creation myths,
Yep.
and I've become obsessed now. So I've been reading, mostly listening to creation myths on the YouTube. But I did look up the Lenape creation story.
What's that?
The Lenape Indians were the Indians that lived where I live right now. And where I live would have been prime real estate for them because this was known as Corn Hill because the corn grew all over the top of this hill. So this was prime Lenape territory up here. Close to the river, a lot of deer hunting areas, and they were growing corn like it was their job because it was. So I looked up their creation myth. You know what I mean? And it's very similar to a lot of Native American ones, but also Asian stuff. And it always starts with darkness and nothing. What is that? Why do people feel the need to when they create the myths about themselves? It all starts with nothingness, emptiness, or darkness, depending on which corner of the globe you come from.
Yeah, I fucking feel you, man. It's who gives a fuck how Earth was made? That doesn't involve us. The beginning of the universe. It's a creation myth about the creation of your species. And everyone finds it necessary to explain how the universe started. That's a totally different thing.
Well, I think it's important that we do it. Now it's become a scientific thing, right? Now we're trying to prove it scientifically. But what's interesting to me is that a lot of the creation myths from around the world sort of fall in line a lot with what it looks like we're going to learn from science about the creation of the universe. you know?
Yeah.
Like at one time, I guess I've answered my own question. Like at one time, everything was dark. There was nothing. Like this is pre-Big Bang, right?
Yeah.
And the Lenape say that there was a spirit in the nothingness, and it basically was so bored it fell asleep because there was nothing. And when he slept, he dreamt of the world and the mountains and the sky and the ocean and the fish and all of that. And it was because of his dream that it came into being, right? So we were talking about the observer effect, and we're learning from, I guess, physicists that mass doesn't exist until it's observed, or you know, in other words, you create things with your intention is what we're learning. Which is exactly how everything was created by this Lenape creator god. He just dreamt of it. It was his intention.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, in terms of physics and what they're discovering is, I think it is that atoms behave as waves when they're observed. And when they're not observed, they don't behave as waves. They almost stand idly by until you put your mind on them. It's a lot like in the video game world, right? Where they'll make a video game and the computer really only processes what the character is looking at, and then everything else is just kind of blurry in the background. The computer barely runs any programs to make it do stuff because it's not important. So it's like if humans are like that, which it appears we are, that atoms behave differently when you observe them, it makes you wonder, am I in your universe? Like when you hang up the phone with me, are you off in like a slice of or a dimension of a universe that we kind of share, but the atoms that make me in your world, when you don't look at me, I just kind of break apart and go into the back into like the recipe box?
Yeah, I mean, what are happening to the atoms that aren't being observed?
Yeah.
And how would we ever know?
Well, yeah, the experiments are like they would shoot an atom through a slit in a paper. And when it wasn't being observed, it would hit the same spot every time on the wall behind the slit. And then when it was being observed, it would hit the wall in like 3 places, right? And if they let it run, it would form like 3 slits. And they figured it out as like if you throw a ball into the water and you watch where the waves hit the breaker wall, they hit in certain points, right? So they figured out that the atoms were behaving as waves. They weren't behaving as a single atom now. They were going through the slit in different periods of when the wave would hit the wall. That's why they would hit the wall behind the slit in different spots. So they know that the atoms behave as a wave when we observe them, which breaks it back down into like, people believe that we are vibrational beings, that in the beginning there was sound, right? What the ra was like the vibration that allowed
That's in a lot of these creation myths. That was another thing I was going to bring up. That's one thing that a lot of them have in common.
Yep.
Is that a sound brought vibrated things so that they weighed enough so that there was a sea and then an earth. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it too, how did these people come up with creation myths that are so close to what physics is discovering, right? They clearly didn't do it by building the collider or telescopes. They did it probably hallucinogenically.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were able to see like into a primordial past.
Like our current human way of doing things is to look outward, where I think they were more of an inwards. They believe that they were this God, like where we believe we're separate from God. God judges us, you know. They believe that they were part of the dream. They were God, so they could just find the answers within. And they were pretty damn close.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Makes you wonder, like, if in the beginning was a sound, right, the Big Bang that created intense vibrational things, that everything vibrates. So no matter what it's doing, it's only doing it because it's vibrating. And consciousness, right, makes atoms behave as a wave, which means they're just vibrating, they're resonating. Done.
So when they aren't observed by consciousness, are they not vibrating?
No, they're kind of just behaving like if you throw a baseball at a wall, right? It will just hit the wall, and just it's where if it behaves as a wave, it turns into like a pattern. It's I don't know what they're doing. It's weird. I mean, I'm not a physicist. I just watch a lot of Through the Wormhole.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, when you observe an atom, it behaves as a wave, I believe. I could be completely wrong, but I'm almost positive that that's how it works.
No, it sounds like what I read. Although I have to admit, like, that I read these articles about this stuff, and at a certain point, I kind of glaze over because I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Hey, well, if you're listening and you know more about this, then write us. Put it in layman terms.
We should get Michio Kaku on the podcast.
Yeah. But I mean, what I was trying to get at is, if the Big Bang created the vibrations that allow everything to exist, and if the mind makes things behave as waves that we can't see, then in a way you're the same as the Big Bang. Like, you're as powerful, because all of this will only exist because you pay attention to it.
That seems to be true of a lot of things, right? I mean, if nobody paid attention to celebrities, they wouldn't exist. And if people didn't pay attention to so many tragedies on the news, they wouldn't feel like their lives were tragic.
Yeah.
You are what you eat, in a way.
Oh, totally. Totally.
It's sort of like a universal truth of nature.
Dude, the placebo
Maybe
effect.
that's how ancient tribes and cultures were able to come up with this theory of their own universe. It was just simply by knowing nature and knowing the laws of nature and boiling it down to a basic sort of alchemical philosophy. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting shit. I'm going to keep looking into creator myths. What it gives me is a lot of great imagery. Like the Lenape creation story eventually leads to this sort of process of building an island on the back of a turtle.
Yeah.
And I love the image that comes to mind of that. A turtle so big that it actually has trees and
Yeah.
and caves and its own beach on its back. So I went further down that YouTube rabbit hole, right? And it led me to a list of the largest cryptids ever spoken about. And one of them is this. There's a lot of myths of this giant turtle that was so big that it had an island on its back, and people would get shipwrecked on it, and they would think that they would be safe until they realized that the island was sinking and that it was a giant turtle that was swimming away. And it was called, I think it was called Zataran. I'm trying to Google it right now as we talk, so that's difficult to do and talk, but
That's pretty cool.
yeah, Zataran.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it gives me a bunch of ideas for a sculpture,
Yeah. According to the new Through the Wormhole, it's called "Are We Here for a Reason?" And what they're pretty much saying is that it looks like the whole reason why we're here is just like to pass down information, and not like through TV and radio, but through genes.
Okay.
And that, so what if there is a creator, right? Who created all of this. But in the creation of all of this, he had to sacrifice the knowledge that he was the creator. So he put in the code, in the program, that the meaning of life is to figure it all out. And he exists in us, right? He broke off into a sort of vibrational pattern that can exist in a certain type of meat suit, which happens to be the human meat suit. And our whole purpose is really just to figure out who the hell he is. You are.
What a fucking dickbag he is, if that's his whole goal. Like, that's such a shitty thing to do. Like, that's like a painter making a masterpiece and encoding in it his identity.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just signing it or not signing it, that's like a fucking suck-ass way to fucking run a universe, if you ask me.
Hey, well, they say that, you know, these new mindful crowd people are saying that you are God, you are him, right? Well, if you are God, then why don't you have all the fucking answers? Well, if nature just appears that all nature wants you to do is to get smarter and pass down more dominant genes to allow evolution to make us, who knows what evolution's trying to make out of us, you know, we're talking millions of...
Evolution has hit a bunch of dead ends, too. Let's not forget that.
Evolution has hit dead ends.
There's a lot of piss in the gene pool at this point. So you can't really, you know, just put your whole purpose on handing down genes, because there's a lot of people that shouldn't be handing down any genes. You know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of people that think we're talking about genes. That's what I think.
This is not your mom's house podcast.
No. We went pretty deep tonight, though. I want to try not this Saturday, but maybe next Saturday morning. Although, you know what? I don't know. We'll talk about it. I just don't feel very sharp Thursday nights, but I can change my lifestyle a little bit to be sharp.
Well, how are Wednesday nights? I don't have jiu-jitsu on Wednesday nights.
I think the better night would probably be Thursday night.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. We don't need to bore our listeners with this minutia.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry about that. No, but I like talking about creation myths. I like talking about physics, but I'm afraid that I sound like an idiot because I don't really know what I'm talking about. I have a very basic peasant understanding of it.
Hey, man, you made it make more sense to me, so that's saying something.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it at all. I look at it more from, like, the religious standpoint. It's very interesting to me, you know, because from the beginning of time, ever since, you know, we climbed out of the trees and we ate some mushrooms, we've been asking ourselves, you know, where did we come from? Why are we here?
Yeah.
You know, and they're doing that at CERN in the same way they were doing it in Buddhist temples 5,000-10,000 years ago, you know?
Yeah, don't you sometimes, like, wish you were the squirrel or the chipmunk? Like, it just seems like they know that answer. Like, you watch an...
Chipmunks?
Well, you watch...
They had the luxury of not having the question.
Or do they know the answer to the question? Like, you watch animals in the wild, and it's just like they just do what they do. I mean, fucking monkeys are walking in like 2 days, you know? And then there's the human.
Well, there are humans that get to that point. I mean, don't you just do what you do?
I guess.
I mean, a Taoist would sort of say, well, fuck it.
Yeah, that's true. I say that often. A little too often. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I notice around here? The grocery stores are coming to, like, they're dying.
Really?
Yeah,
They didn't replace food.
we've become such a eat out culture that, like, grocery stores are getting smaller and smaller.
Is that what it is? Or, like, around here, there's a lot of farmers markets and things
Yeah,
like
no, we don't have any of that shit up here, dude. The growing season's so short up here that there's farmer stands and stuff, but you know, they're only open certain months out of the year.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. And
Well, the same thing down here, but...
well, and I'm noticing that there's I'm not gonna name names, but there's one grocery store chain who's like taking over.
Oh, yeah?
And they're becoming like fucking gigantic. You know, they got like diners and restaurants and shit in there, and I'm like, dude, when shit hits the fan, we're not even gonna have a good old school fashioned like little grocery. Remember, little grocery stores used to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Not anymore, man. Now it's all everyone's all wants to go out. They want to put on their American clothes and go out to their American restaurants and smoke their American cigarettes, and it's
Oh, Jesus.
no one ever rests, you know.
Yeah.
Busy, 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 busy. You know what pisses me off a lot, Adam? What pisses me off a lot?
What's that?
Fucking grass.
Grass?
Yeah, people in their lawns. It's such a waste of time and money.
I hate it.
It kills me.
I know. I keep telling my spouse that we should tear up the grass and just plant lavender. Because the deer don't eat it, and you can turn it into medicine, and you don't have to fucking mow it.
Oh, dude, it's so stupid how much people spend on lawns, dude.
It's retarded.
We had a drought.
The watering and the cutting and the, oh, jeez. And keeping, you know what drives me nuts are when people have, like, well-defined mulch beds and flower beds, and this area is designated for bushes, so I designate that by putting a sharp grass line and a bunch of mulch.
Dude, don't get me into this shit because
Make their lawns look like mini golf courses.
do you know how many times I've gone to work on somebody's house and it's like, why did the fucking landscaper plant a bush here? You know, like always right up against the house, which is like building 101. You don't.
You know where it is? It's always right where you want to put your ladder to clean out the gutters.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Dude,
It's always exactly right there.
don't plant bushes and shrubs near your house. It attracts wood-destroying organisms. It attracts water. You can't launch ladders. It is the dumbest thing to do. And every landscaper will come look at your yard and be like, you need bushes here. We're going to mulch your yard, and we're going to put down bleached and stained wood chips that just break down and put solvents and chemicals into your freaking soil. And then you keep doing that until you try to sell your house, and then you get a water test and there's freaking solvents in the water test. Oh, I wonder what that's from. Oh, because you've been putting stained freaking mulch in your beds.
Yeah, that holly bush looks great planted up against your yellow siding.
Oh.
Go ahead and paint the boards behind it one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why'd my sill rot out? Well, your sill rotted out because you planted an entire freaking city of hostas right up against your siding. And you just gave them a highway. But it looks so pretty. Yeah. Do you like having a house, or do you like sleeping outside in a sleeping bag? Because, I mean, the whole purpose of a house is to separate you from the elements. Oh, dude, it kills me. We're doing a project right now. Dude, we have a 60-foot boom lift. This is like big boy stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And the friggin' landscapers went and put the sprinkler system. They put the sprinkler system in the only spot where you could ever run a lift. And they ran it in a straight line all the way down the building. So we have pushed in all the sprinkler heads. and you know, I'm like, dude, I don't even feel bad, honestly. Yeah. And if they try to get me to fix it, I ain't fixing it. Because you know what? You should have consulted with somebody that knows something about building science that's thinking about where you're going to launch stuff to work on your building. And the landscapers went in, they put bushes. You couldn't launch a ladder. They put all the bushes conveniently about 4.5 feet off of the entire building. And there's a bush. There's a tall, like 6-foot bush, and then there's a little flat shrub bush that's like 2 feet tall. And this repeats around the entire building. So you can't even launch a ladder to work on this place.
Tremendous.
Yep, just like
This should be part of a landscaper's training.
in New Hampshire, you don't need a license to do that stuff. So I don't know, maybe in like other states where you need certificates and licensing, they've collaborated maybe with the local building inspectors, and are coming up with plans to eliminate this because it's really wasteful. It ruins houses. You have to fix places prematurely. You get roofing shingles. Roofing shingles are 20, 25 years, dude. You go and have a tree overhang in your house, you cut that in half easily. You see moss growing on people's roofs and stuff. It's all because they got trees growing over your house. It's like, it's building 101. No trees near the house. No shrubs up against the house. Period. Don't do it. I know it looks pretty, but it's stupid. And it's going to cost you a lot of money. And everyone thinks properties are investments. They're only an investment if you flip them quick. When you live in a place and you spend money fixing it and fueling it and repairing it, after 30 years, you do the math. Yeah, you might sell the place and make 30, 40 grand, but you spent that easily. It's all an illusion.
Oh, of course. I'm sure I spent $100,000 on this house so far.
Yep, Easily, dude. Easily. And then like stuff that people don't notice, like the 15 yards of crushed stone,
Oh, that's so funny you bring that up, man. I have 3 tons of it sitting in my driveway right now. I gotta spread it and compact it maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. We should do a special podcast on just like answering questions from our listeners on like what's wrong with their property.
Well, we gotta get them to send us their questions.
Oh, people send us thousands of questions, dude. I don't read them.
Well, maybe you should start.
I gotta hire an intern.
Yeah, I mean, if you got thousands of questions, you should probably get an intern, or at least read a few of them.
All right, I'll start looking at them.
Tremendous.
Hey, but that's right around an hour, man. Dead Peasant Radio every Thursday night coming live at you. We're getting better. We're getting tuned up. We're wild men, What people need to understand about me and Atlas here is we try not to follow schedules too much, and we try not to do things the way the directions tell you to do them, and we just roll with the punches.
We do.
And
we flow with the go.
Yep, you're more likely to find yourself on the mat in a rear naked chokehold, but
Shit happens.
Shit happens.
Part of the universe.
It is. So next week, we should get people. The listeners should email us what they want us to talk about. We should try to do a podcast where maybe over the past couple episodes where we've rambled on some stuff. Maybe we touched on some stuff that we kind of just skipped over or didn't go back to that they'd like to hear about.
All right.
Because I feel like some of the stuff we talk about, we know a thing or two about, and then we don't really focus on the stuff we actually know about, and we go down these crazy tangents on shit we have no clue about. But I'm cool. I like it. It makes me, when I listen to it at work and stuff, it makes me think,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's stuff we know about. But you really want me to sit here and tell you about dismantling furniture for an hour?
Yeah, I mean, you never know, man. We might get, what if we got a bunch of emails saying, like, how do I take apart this dresser to turn it into a flower garden,
All right, maybe.
Because there are tricks. There's definitely tricks, like little tricks, like pulling nails out through the back of a board so you don't blow out the face.
Mm-hmm.
That's something probably 99% of the people in the world have no clue about.
That's a good point.
You know?
I'll put some thought into this. I'm going to be at the flea market looking for broken furniture to turn into artwork this weekend, so...
Sweet, man. Take pictures. Tweet them.
That's a good idea.
Cool, man. All right. Well, until next week, we'll see everyone later.
Keep your staff wet.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, man.